Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video on Michael Morpurgo books collection. Now, in the first video we was talking about the butterfly line. So we've talked about the butterfly line. We can also read the blurb. The butterfly line is unique among animals and books and will touch all hearts, both young and old. And also the Virginia McKenna Born Free Foundation. So this book was published. Well, some of the books. This book was about so the donations went to the foundation. So people that bought this book, Butterfly Line, the money went to the foundation, which is quite good for Michael Morpurgo and everyone who's bought it. Next is Farm Boy. So Warhorse is the tale of a horse. Is a tale of a horse telling the story, and then we move on to later in the year where we see Joey in later years, and it's quite good. So this little boy, it tells here, I love Grandpa's fun. When I was younger, I'd go down whenever I could, but I didn't just go for the farm. I went for Grandpa and his stories too. But Grandpa had secrets so shameful he kept them to himself all those years. And as you can see, the Daily Mail put in a quote, if there's such things contemporary classics, then this surely is one of them. It is the sequel of Warhorse, as I just said, and it's brilliantly adapted for the stage. So Warhorse has been a musical, has been in Warhorse has been in the theatres with puppets, and this is like the next book to read after Warhorse, which is, I haven't read, but I've heard it's really good. Anyway, I forgot to say, Farm Boy published in 1997, and Butterfly Line came out in 1996. So it was a 1 year. So 1 year off when Butterfly Line came out, and then 1997, Farm Boy came. Next, we move on to Escape from Shangri-La. Escape from Shangri-La, published in 1998 by Michael Morpurgo, then nonetheless. It's about Popsicle had come out of nowhere, out of the blue, to be my grandfather, and no one would or could ever be the same again. Cisse is determined to help Popsicle remember his past, but how can he help when he's only remember his glimpse? A tin of condensed milk, a lifeboat, a woman named Lucy Alice, and the devastating night of World War beaches of Dunkirk during World War II. So this is about memories. So there's this guy called Popsicle, who came out of nowhere, and he can't remember anything. And he's remembering flashbacks from Dunkirk, and a little boy called Cisse is determined to help him remember his family and his memories. So I recommend anyone reading this. If you're out there and you want to read it, you can go on Amazon or eBay to find Escape from Shangri-La. So yeah. Next, we move on to Kenzuki's Kingdom. Kenzuki's Kingdom came out in 1999. A lot of things came out in 1999. Some my other Michael Morpurgo books that I don't have. But if you know those books, leave a comment down below, and I'll answer your questions as I can. So we go to the blurb of Kenzuki's Kingdom. It says, I heard the wind above me in the sails. I remember thinking, this is silly. You haven't got your own safety harness on. You haven't got your life jacket on. You shouldn't be doing this. I was in the cold of the sea before I could even open my mouth to scream. Washed up on an island in the Pacific, Michael struggles to survive on his own. With no food and no water, he curls up to die. When he wakes, there's a plate beside him of fish, of fruit, and a bowl of fresh water. He is not alone. So, if you ever seen the movie that Tom Hanks plays in where he's stranded on an island, this is technically like this, but Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway, he's not alone. So this is kind of similar to Kenzuki's Kingdom, but obviously in this book, there's someone else with him that he doesn't know. So if you're into like survival books, I recommend people at an older age, around about 14 or maybe 10. I wouldn't say 9 or children because I think it's a medium-sized book. A lot of hard words to say in here. So yeah, I recommend the book for anyone. Next, we move on to Mr. Nobody's Eyes. Mr. Nobody's Eyes came out in 2002, which was the day that I was born. So this is a quite interesting book. As you can see on the blurb, it's got curtains. It looks like a proscenium arch. Not going to be clever or anything, but that's what it looks like. Or it could be a circus, because on the front of the book there is a circus, and it looks like World War II planes. So that's a quite interesting story to tell. So there's this boy called Harry, and there's a little word, or should I say little quote, or I don't know, but it's a little story about this boy called Harry heard the key turn in the lock. He had already made up his mind to run. Harry is in trouble at school, and he doesn't like his stepfather of the new baby. Then his best friend Oki, a chimpanzee from the circus, Oki's owner won't mind if Harry borrows her for a bit. Well, will he? But then Harry's stepfather and the police find out Harry and the chimp are soon on the run. So, Mr. Nobody's Eyes is technically this little boy is like his family don't mean anything to him. So this chimpanzee, Oki, which is a chimpanzee, as you can see there, and she's on the run as well. But the police and his stepfather are on to him, and obviously he doesn't want anything to do with him. So I recommend anyone to read this. I wouldn't say it's quite emotional. It may be from other people's perspectives that it might be. So yeah. Next, we got the winner of the Blue Peter Book Award. If you don't know what Blue Peter is, it used to be a TV series where kids used to go and watch it, and they would do a lot of fun stuff, and you would get some people, if they did something cool, they would get a Blue Peter badge, which my older sister did. But anyway, don't get too carried away. So this is called Private Peaceful. Private Peaceful is an award-winning book. So this is about the First World War. Same with War Horse, which was in First World War. As you can see, it's got some clouds and a graveyard. Now, obviously, when you see something like this, that means a lot of soldiers have died during battle. And when Winston Churchill said, "We'll never forget them," that's what you got to do. You got to stay strong, be proud of who you are and who your family are. So yeah, it's a stunning novel of the First World War. And as you can see, there's a little story here. It says, "They're gone now. I'm alone at last. I have the whole night ahead of me, and I won't waste a single moment of it. I want tonight to be as long as my life." It's about a boy, a young Thomas. He looks over his childhood from the battlefields of the First World War. His memories are full of family life deep in the countryside. But the clock is ticking. Every moment Thomas spends remembering how things used to be means another moment closer to something which will change his life forever. So I'm guessing it's like a countdown of his last life forever. But yeah, if you don't know who Tomo is, it's a nickname for Thomas. His name's Thomas Peaceful, which is Private Peaceful. So Thomas Peaceful was a private in World War One. That's what I'm guessing, because Peaceful is his surname. But he's thinking of his memories of his family deep in the countryside, which is quite beautiful. If you live in the countryside, it's quite nice, except on a rainy day. But we'll never get into that. As you can see, there were a lot of quotes that were in newspapers from the Daily Mail, the Observer, and the Telegraph. In the Daily Mail, it says a poignant elegiac novel, which was, I don't know what those words. If you know what that word means, leave me answer in the give me answer any questions in there down below. And then the Telegraph said a deeply moving portrayal of camaraderie and courage, innocence and brutality. In World War One, I'm not going to go into World War One a lot, but in World War One there was a lot of brutality, a lot of fighting, stabbing, killing, and a lot of and also innocent people as well. But anyway, that's the second chapter, and the next episode is going to be the last chapter of Michael Morpurgo books. Hope you enjoyed. If you've got any questions, leave in the link below. Hope everyone stays safe, be strong, and see you again.